Hey folks, this is ioEther and we're back with some more World Tanks. So as you can see, this is Bartek72 and he's back, this time in his KV4. Now let's just do that. There we go. Thank you, Mr. FV304. That was so helpful. Nah, whatever. Cliff diving in a KV4. Oh, I want to see cliff diving. So, this is obviously Abbey. It's mostly a tier 8 battle. Though, actually, I just realized that we have 2 more tier 8s than they do. But, you know, it totally balances out because they have 2 more tier 7s than we do. Actually, we have a tier 5. Why do we have a tier 5 in a tier 8 game? Because he platooned up with a KV-1S and got pulled into the highest battle possible. Okay, well that guy is just unfortunate. It isn't a failed platoon. And we have been spotted and somebody's trying to kill us. But it's KV Fortress, so we're not really worried, right? So, we are charging down the 8 line. There is a Panther out there who's just getting nailed by artillery. I'm going to guess that was the FV's arc that we saw, as that seemed to be so very little damage and such a fast shot for an artillery arc. Still getting used to the mods that are currently on. They were technically the same mods I had last time, but I'll colorize a little bit differently. Beautiful shot at the back end of a T-34. You see how Bartek's aiming? He was trying to knock out the tracks, so the guy couldn't do anything except sit there and be shot. Now he's going to get into a side-scraping position, and unfortunately, the reload on the KV Fortress means that the T-34 got into cover before Bartek could take another shot at him. But, boom, shot on the move into the back of the Panther, who has no choice but to accept that shot. And the the KV-34, the T-34 tried to get a shot into us while we were moving, but because of the angle Bartek had made, it was impossible for them to do anything except for, well, you know, dig into the tracks and not do anything real. Now, he's setting up for a beautiful side scraping position here, and he's taking shot after shot from this T-34 through the side of his tracks, and it's not doing anything because the tracks are just eating them. Unfortunately, T-34 knows how to solve that. He does need to get around back. And so you see the way that the Bartek is aiming? We're going to pause right here, okay? So he is aiming, so he's side scraping as much as he possibly can against the T-34, and yet he's still setting up to side scrape against these guys back here. So at this point, the only place the Togs have to shoot on is actually the very side of the back side of his turret. Right here. This is the only place that they might penetrate him, because all this, there's no chance of them penetrating any of the rest of this because it's on too much of an angle. So at this point, the only thing he's focusing on is the T-34, but he set up his tank, so it doesn't matter. He doesn't have to worry about anyone else because they can't do anything to him. And the only thing they are doing is they're knocking his tracks off. And for some reason, this T-34 has decided that face hugging a KV Fortress is the best idea. Whereas, yeah, now he backs up. Unfortunately, he didn't have a shot, and it didn't do anything anyway. So a little bit of damage has been taken from these Togs. They're actually putting effective fire into him. A little bit of effective fire, mind you, not a lot. And now he's got the side of the T-34 to side scrape up against again. And he's just going to keep using the tanks around him to make sure that these guys can't get effective fire into him. Now, he's actually using the Pershing to deflect fire from the Togs. Because the Tog can only shoot at the front of him because of the fact that he was grinding up against the Pershing. He is actually angling his armor really effectively against both targets, and the rams are really helpful and effective. Unfortunately, it looks like he's about to go down. Boom! T-44 saves him from the Pershing, and now he is totally set against this Tog. Pausing here for another second. Notice all these shots. This is all damage from a Tog. That is from the Super Pershing. Everything else here, and 9 penetrating hits are from this Tog. This Tog, and maybe a few shots from the other one. It's a tier 6 game. That Tog has earned more than enough money to make up for any defeat that he's going to suffer, because there's no way he's going to beat a KV-4 just one-on-one now. And the GW tries to kill our KV-4 friend and lobs a shell into a melee fight. Okay, first, I'm glad there's a break in the combat here, because I want to desperately yell something. Never, ever drop a shell into a melee fight between one of your tanks and an enemy tank as an artillery player. Never. Now, yes, I'll do it occasionally. It has to be a last-ditch move. If you are winning in the slightest, never ever do it. If it's a kind of thing where, look, either we kill this guy now or we outright lose, sure, go ahead. Make sure you fully aim, make sure he's not moving, take all the precautions you can and drop that shell as far away from the enemy or the ally as you can. But on the other hand, if the tank that's carrying your team is one-on-one with the enemy, don't take that shot! You're more likely to injure or kill the friendly than you are to take out the enemy before he can get killed by the friendly who's already doing the carrying. And for all of you who say the KV Fortress is invincible, well, no, apparently it's not. Also, a Tog can shoot through it. Okay, so we were winning. We're still winning, but it's less so now. We do have a T-44 that looks like he's going to start capping in a second. That, or he's hanging around their base for no reason. He did just take out their artillery. Yeah, there he goes. He starts capping now. And they have a Panzer Souffle that's kind of making its way back. But Bartek can't deal with any of that. He has to focus on this IS-3. Boom, takes his tracks out. Unfortunately, didn't do any damage to it, but he did take his tracks out. That guy, A, knows there's a KV-4 shooting him, which he kind of has to take care of, and B, what? What just happened? Okay, IS-3 is about here, say. What did he shoot? Okay, so I think the IS-3 penetrated this. That, or it was an HE shell that hit that, exploded, and killed him. I don't know exactly how he just died, as it looks like he's below the ridgeline. Right? Like that looks like he's below the ridgeline, right? Why is he dead? Okay, let's watch the rest of this. Okay, so switching over to the artillery. Yeah, and Bartek is just like, wow, that was lucky. And so our artillery is raining death down on the IS-3. And he actually looks like he's taken some fire, so at some point, either the enemy already did some counter battery, or something put a shot near him. No, wasn't a Tog. I don't know what would have put a shot near him. Bartek is talking about the Tog 2 failed platoon. It wasn't a failed platoon. It was an no, it wasn't a failed platoon. They just, whoa. So apparently we won that game by capping out, is what I'm going to go ahead and assume, because the T-44 is still in the bottom corner of the map on the cap. And the rest of the fight we didn't see because Bartek wasn't switching into any of the tanks that were in the action. So that's kind of unfortunate, but still a great game. I'm still baffled over that shot that killed Bartek. 4,400 experience with premium with his daily double. That of course earned him the Mastery Badge first class. That's an ace tanker, by the way. Not a first class medal. And of course the high caliber. He would have picked up Steel Wall, obviously, except for that IS-3's incredibly lucky shot at the end that killed him. That is just him knocking the tracks off. A whole bunch of, wait, there was a Type 58 in that battle? Well, apparently there was, and we spotted a whole bunch of damage on him. Okay, sure. Almost 5,000 damage dealt over 3 kills nets him a good bit of base experience and of course the high caliber. Now, props goes to this IS-3 for, well, you know, surviving and the steel wall, but that was the luckiest shot I've seen in World Tanks in a very long time. That was insane. And props to our T-44 who decided to cap and was right in his decision to cap right then. Okay, so it says 6,000 damage plus walk by armor. It's not right though, because it doesn't count damage absorbed by your tracks. Most of the damage he sustained was blocked by his tracks. This number should be like 7,000 or maybe as high as 8. That was pretty insane, and that is how much damage the KB Fortress can sustain if it wants to. And yet, he got 1,500 spotting damage. So, I mean, really, that was pretty awesome. Wow. Sorry for that. I forgot to set my phone to silent. So, thank you so much, Bartek, for sending this in. Thank you so much for watching and hitting the like or subscribe button. I'll see you all next time. This is ioEther out.